Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I just got off the computer from ordering some books on Amazon. I ordered some new daily affirmation books for 2021 so that I would have new books to read. I just brought these two today because I looked to see what the meditations were about, and I kind of just picked through. I didn't read them, but I picked through and decided on these two to read. But I purchased, I think I bought like 4 or 5 new books. One of which is Melody Beattie's book. I think it's called, I thought it was called 40 Days and 40 Nights, but it's actually called like Making Miracles in 40 Days or something. And it's about gratitude, and it's about taking the life that you have and like turning it into the life that you want. And I thought, to follow up on the magic book that we did by Rhonda Byrne, maybe that would be a book that we could do going into 2021 at some point. So I'm going to get the book. It should be here early next week. I'm going to look through it and see if it's realistic to do, and kind of like, you know, like we did with the magic book. If any of you guys are interested in doing that, check it out online and let me know in the comment section below. I haven't decided on it yet. I have the book somewhere here in hardback. I don't know where. I have so many books in my basement that it's probably hidden down there somewhere. So I thought it's not going to kill me to have 2 copies. I can give the other copy away when I find it. So anyway, check it out online. It's one of Melody Beattie's books that has the word miracle in it. So anyway, and then I bought, I bought a book called something about positive quotes or thoughts every day for a year. I picked one that was about self-esteem, which, as you know, I don't love the word self-esteem, or I like the word self-concept better, but that's okay. And the other one I picked was like a bestseller called Stoic Voices or something like that. I don't know anything about this book. So they may come and I may be like, I'm not going to read these on here. They don't fit for this channel. Or I may be like, oh my God, I'm like in love with these books, and they will replace the books that I have read for the last 2 years over here. So hopefully, because we need some new material, right? I also have tons and tons of affirmation books in the basement. So I think I'm just going to have to commit to like reading some new books over here, you know, and not just reading the old books. But the 2 books that I bought today, not that there's anything wrong with those old books, but I mean, some of these now, like the Melody Beattie book and the positive quotation books, I've probably done a meditation on for the last 2 years. So these are becoming repeats at this point. All right. The first book that we're going to read from, or the first book that I'm going to read from today is Linda Picons' The Daily Book of Positive Quotations. And I think they're both pretty positive meditations, because I thought, let's do going into the weekend, let's do a positive little meditation read here. December 11th, celebration. I actually feel like I did this one last year. This sounds really familiar to me. December 11th, celebration. I celebrate myself and sing myself, Walt Whitman. Let's try saying something as simple and powerful as, I celebrate myself. It's a bit unusual, perhaps even embarrassing, isn't it? Sounds kind of egotistical. When others celebrate us, it feels pretty good. But to celebrate ourselves? Children enjoy celebrating themselves. When a baby first finds her own toe, she is completely delighted. When a toddler realizes that he can make sounds that bring him rewards, he beams proudly. Why can't we take a similar delight in the simple wonder of being alive? Our life is a great gift worth celebrating. At least once each day, I will offer a quiet celebration of the miracle that is me. You know, I am somebody that, I don't know if maybe it's because I went through such hell with my addiction, that I truly see today my life as a gift. And it's something that I don't take lightly. Every day that I wake up, I am super grateful for the life that I was given. Not just the life that I have, but the fact that I was given actually a life to live, you know? And I'm also extremely grateful for the condition of my living and my health and my sobriety and things like that. You know, I think it's really, really hard. And I would be like a mess if I didn't talk about the fact that when you're suffering from, you know, and if you're in the middle of the throes of addiction, or you're going through a major tragedy in your life, or if you're suffering from mental health issues, it's really hard to look at life and be like, yeah, life is a gift today, you know? And I think it's about doing whatever you can to put one foot in front of the other, whether, you know, that's seeking professional help, which, you know, I recommend regularly to people. But I think it's also maybe in trying to just tell ourselves every once in a while, you know, like, I am a pretty cool person and I'm going to celebrate myself today. We have these tapes in our heads. You know, I talked about this tape not too long ago, and I don't know if it was on my vlog or if it was over here, but somebody left a comment And they said those tapes that we have in our head, they run from a very young age, which they do, you know. Those tapes of you're worthless, you don't matter, you know, you're a piece of crap, whatever. Those are often things that we heard in childhood, right? Which carry over into our adulthood. Those are things that I heard from my peers at school. And so today, I still have that in my head, even though I've worked so hard, you know, to work against those kind of ideas. I still have, that tape still runs in my head. It doesn't run very long. It's not as, you know, powerful as it used to be years and years and years ago, but it's still there. And I have to do the work to quickly stop it and say, okay, that's not true today. I'm not going to think that. I know I'm not a piece of crap. I know I'm deserving of being loved. And, you know, on and on and on. And that's why, like, at the end of my vlog, I used to say every day, you know, look in the mirror and tell yourself you are valuable, you know, on and on and on. You know, you're a good sister, you're a good husband, you're a good wife, you know, you deserve to be loved, because those things are true. But we sometimes have to believe those things and work on believing those things before others will believe those things about us. And maybe it doesn't matter what other people believe, but I think that we also attract the kind of energy into our lives that we put out there. So if we're constantly putting energy out there that, like, I'm just a piece of crap based on what I heard 30 or 40 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever, or even just yesterday, and I'm putting that out there in the world, people are going to believe that, you know, if I put that out there. So it is important for me to celebrate myself. You know, it is important for me to be my biggest cheerleader in life. And there have been many moments in my life where it was just between me and my higher power, you know, and I didn't have a lot of cheerleaders and I didn't have a lot of people. Thankfully, today I have my husband, I have my best friend, I have my sponsor, I have my family, I have other friends of mine in my life, you know, that are cheerleaders of mine, and likewise, I'm cheerleaders to them as well. But, you know, it's hard when you have nobody and you don't have any cheerleaders. That's when we have to be our own biggest cheerleader, you know, and I think for many of us, it's really, really hard to kind of get that and understand that. But it's okay. It's okay to, like, you know, we think it's like, you know, there's this whole idea that like self-deprecation is not attractive to me. I don't like when people put themselves down, right? And the reason I don't like it is because you could be using that same energy to build yourself up. Well, we live in a society, if you really think about how strange this is, right? Where it is societally appropriate to put yourself down and say, well, I'm overweight, or I'm ugly, or I'm worthless, or I'm not, you know, like, I just, you know, can't do this and I can't do that. Like, society accepts that kind of talk, right? But if we're to say to ourselves, like, you know, I really did a good job on this, or I'm very proud of myself, or this is how I feel about something, even if it's just in the confines of our own home, right? We think that that's arrogant, egotistic, and cocky. Well, there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. There's a fine line between being sure of who you are and supporting your own endeavors and your own beliefs and being cocky. And I think that most people know the difference in that, you know? And I think those people that are super, super cocky would say, no, it's just confidence. But it comes across as cocky, and I think we know that. So just practice it in your own house, you know? Those things you want to believe to be true, look in the mirror and start saying them to yourself. It's hard, you know? Say it to yourself. I was going to say ourselves, but look in the mirror and say it to yourself, you know, and say, you know, like, you are valuable, you matter, you know, like, you're worthy of being loved. Those words you get choked up on saying, you know, like, you're a good daughter, you're a good wife, you know, you're a good husband, you're a good friend, you know, those things that you get choked up on saying are typically those things that you do not believe to be true. And those are the things that we have to work on, and that's where we have to rewrite that tape. Right? We're only here for such a short period of time anyway that we deserve to have the best tape running through our head. You know, you wouldn't get in your car and drive around and just listen to, like, music you couldn't stand. Why would you do that? Why would you drive around and listen to, like, music that you just, why would you put it on the radio station that had music on there that you had absolutely no desire to listen to? And likewise, why are you driving around playing a tape in your head that isn't doing you any good and that you don't like? Then the question is, there must be something that you do like out of that. There must be something that you do get out of that, right? Maybe if you believe all of these things about yourself, it's an excuse for saying, well, and then, like, I do not deserve to be loved, therefore, ... instead of doing the work inside. Because there's a lot of work that we have to do to get to the point where we really do believe good things about ourselves. But each of you out there deserves to have good things about yourself, be believed by yourself, you know? But it's a lot of work to get there, you know? That's why, like, this whole, like, self-esteem to me is like, I don't know, it, like, we got to build up our self-esteem. Self-concept to me, and this is why I like the word differently, and this is something that somebody explained to me, I don't know, 25 years ago, right? 25 years ago, it was somebody that I used to work with. The reason I like the word self-concept, and she explained it to me that she liked it better, was because self-concept is how we think of ourselves, right? It's how we believe ourselves to be in relation to other people and to the world around us. Well, that's really, really important, isn't it? How we think of ourselves in relation to our peer group or our spouses or our family or our friends, you know? Because some of us are lost in our own families. We don't know where we fit. That's really hard, you know? So anyway, you got to be your biggest cheerleader. You've got to be your biggest. Start writing down every day really positive things about yourself, you know? And tell yourself good things about you. If you deserve to hear it. If nobody else is going to tell you, you deserve to tell you, you know? All right, let's read from The Language of Letting Go. December 11th. I think this one is another positive one. Hold on a second. I tried to pick positive ones today. Dun, da, da, da. Oh, December 11th. Affirmations. Oh, I thought this would be funny because I had just gotten off of the computer from reading or buying new affirmation books. Affirmations, December 11th. I used to never hold books like this. I was like, books are our friends. We don't, and now I do that all the time. I love it. It makes me feel like I'm really reading a book, you know? Affirmations, December 11th. One of our choices in recovery is choosing what we want to think, using our mental energy positively. Affirmations, December 11th. One of our choices in recovery is choosing what we want to think, using our mental energy positively. Positive mental energy, positive thinking, I don't know what this is that I was doing. Positive mental energy, positive thinking does not mean we think unrealistically or revert to denial. If we don't like something, we respect our own opinion. If we spot a problem, we're honest about it. If something isn't working out, we accept reality. But we don't dwell on the negative parts of our experience. Whatever we give energy to, we empower. There is magic in empowering the good because whatever we empower grows bigger. One way to empower the good is through affirmations. This is exactly what I was just talking about. One way to empower the good is through affirmations. Simple positive statements we make to ourselves. I love myself. I'm good enough. My life is good. I'm glad I'm alive today. What I want and need is coming to me. I can. Our choice in recovery is not what I want and need is coming to me. I can. Our choice in recovery is not whether to use affirmations. We've been affirming thoughts and beliefs since we were old enough to speak. The choice in recovery is what we want to affirm. Today I will empower the good in myself, others, and life. I'm willing to release or let go of negative thought patterns and replace them with positive ones. I will choose what I want to affirm, and I will choose what I want to affirm, and I will make it good. So this is very similar to what I was just talking about with the other meditation. You know, it's like really believing in those positive things and, you know, endorsing those positive thoughts and messages in our own lives, you know, and really believing that we deserve the good that is coming to us and the good around us, you know. And I think that it's hard because for so long we've affirmed the negative. You know, when people would tell us something, it's like the movie, I haven't talked about this on here for a long time. And I haven't actually watched this movie in a long time, but the movie Pretty Woman, you know, where Julie Roberts is laying on the floor. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie. And it's a great quote, you know, is where she's laying on the floor and he says, "You're so beautiful." And she says, "The bad stuff is easier to believe. When someone tells you something long enough, you start to believe it." And I think that there's so much truth in that, you know, that when people tell us bad stuff about ourselves, we believe it over a long period of time. We didn't just wake up in this world and believe bad things about ourselves. We didn't just wake up in this world and believe that we were unworthy of love. Like, that all came from somewhere. And so it's all about going back and undoing that, you know, and believing different things and rewriting that tape in our head. And that's hard. And that journey and that experience for each one of us is different. Hell, I've been sober for almost 25 years and 11 months and a couple weeks, you know, and I'm still working on that. Like, it takes a long time, you know. It doesn't just happen overnight. We don't just wake up and think to ourselves, I'm this amazing human being. No, it takes time, it takes work, you know, and it takes effort. But the payoff is so great. You know, the payoff is so great for each and every one of us because then we live a life that we feel that we are worthy of. And each one of you out there deserves that. So anyway, let me know what you think about those meditations. I love you guys. I hope you're having an amazing beginning to your weekend. Happy Friday. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.